Okay, let's continue with our Microsoft Office lessons. We have Microsoft Excel. Our lesson 1 is to start Microsoft Excel. Then we look at Excel screen and also saving a workbook. So basically just go to search here. You type Excel. Then I will use Office 2010. So I open Excel. This is Excel. Excel usually is different from Microsoft Word. You can see it is made up of boxes. These boxes are called cells. We call them cells. These are the cells, and this is where we insert data. On the other hand, we have home, where we have font, we have alignment, then we have number, style, cells, etc. We also have the insert, where you can insert picture, grip art, shapes, charts, and other things. Also, we have now page layout, just like in Microsoft Word in our previous video, where we have, you can set a page to landscape, portrait. You can also adjust the margins. You can also change the page size to A4 in case it is not set to A4. We also have formulas tab, where we have various formulas. We have data tab, where we can manipulate a lot of stuff, where we can do sorting, filtering, etc. So basically, you can also run spell checking in Excel, just like we did in Microsoft Word. And the next thing to notice that this is a whole book. This is a whole book. You can add a number of sheets here. You can see you have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. This is like an exercise book with various books. So you can see that one. So the next thing, after now having this, you need also to know how to rename this one. You just double click, like for example, you can call this one term 1. You then double click, then type term 2. Then double click, you double click until it's bracket, then term 3. Let's say term 3. So that is also another way of noticing that if this is like book 1, this is book 2, this is book, not really a book, sorry, this is page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Then basically the other thing is that if you look at this one are labeled A, B, C, D, E all the way. These ones are labeled 1, 2, 3. Therefore, these are called the column headers. These ones are called the row headers. These 1, 2, 3 are row headers, whereas this one are column headers. And to select a column, you see now you go to the column header and click, whereas to select a row, you just click on that one. So basically, that's how that one. Now let's proceed to lesson number 2. Lesson number 2, we shall be looking at entering data in Microsoft Excel worksheets. So to enter data, you first of all need to note a number of things, like if for instance I'm typing the admission number, then we have the student name. You notice that student name has gone up to C, so I need to double click here. You see here, I double click. You see this one has been enlarged to fit this. So you just double click on the border when you see that plus sign. Then for example, we have class, we have something like remarks, something of the sort. Like for example, we may have fees payable. We might have fees paid, so that we can calculate the balance and then put the remarks that way. So you see, you just need to double click here, double click there. That one is fixed. Then on the other hand, you need to note that these are imaginary lines. So we must put something called a border. You highlight, you highlight by holding down the mouse. Then when you are in Home tab, there is this window, just adjacent from BIU here. Therefore, I just click on all borders. You see now I have put a border. It's like I've created a table. Then on the other hand, I might need to insert a column above this to have the heading. So I right click on that, then I click on insert. You see, I have inserted a row above this, and I need to type a title here, a title. So I highlight all this up to where I want the title to go. Then I click on this button, merge and center. You see now this one becomes one. In that, I can now type that Matamu High School, Kilifi County. You see, now my heading is centered. In that, I can assign a color, I can assign bold, that will affect the whole thing. So that one is how now you deal with merge and center. On the other hand, to insert numbers, you can insert 520, 526, 544, 650, 850, 740, 1000, rough 30, and let's say 560. Sorry, let's say this 960. These are the dimension numbers. And from there, you can now just type just by clicking on that. We have Janet Chebi. You can have Don Ichai. You can have Ari Roba. You can have Abdi. You can have Abdi Karim. You have something like Joshua Irungu. Now, in case you had gone to another cell and you want to do adjustment, you just double click. Like here, just double click and add something, you see? So you just double click. Alternatively, you go, if you are here, you go up here. This is called the formula bar. You can add here. If you add here, it automatically adds to the cell. You see now here it has added. Abdi Karim, let's say Muhammad, Mohammed. You see, whatever you add is added here. But still this is Raja, so you can double click. Once I double click here, you see now that one is accommodated. So we can also have another guy, Agatha Jones. Let's delete this, right click here, then delete. That's also another reason. So you can have to W, to C, to X, to C, to W. Those are the classes. Let's say if his payable is the same. So if this is the same, you click at the end, you see, until cursor turns into a black. This is called autofill. Then you drag. In case you want something that is equivalent and you don't want to get tired typing. But this one will vary, since apparent might pay apparent. For this case, in case you mess this way, you just undo. Just like we did in Word, undo. It takes you back to where you are. So that way. So these are the fees paid. Then, for example, again, in case I need to format this one, can highlight, then go to bold up here. These ones you can change the font size. Just go to here to Calibri, just like we did the Microsoft Word. Then you can see you can now change. You can change font sizes accordingly to how you wish it to be. So basically, this is how you insert data in Microsoft Excel. In our lesson number 3, we shall look at alignment, renaming of worksheet, adjusting column width and row height, borders, though these ones we have already gone through. This one, renaming the worksheet, I have shown you how that one is done. Also adjusting column width and row height, and also putting borders. Then this time round, I'll show you how to set data types, e.g. currency, inserting columns and rows, headers and footers and background. So we go back to our work. We start by inserting a background. So to insert a background, you go to page layout, then background, and you hit on background. Like background is a picture, so can just insert a background of this chicken. See, now that one goes to the background, so though sometimes it may not be so attractive, so I can hit on delete. But in case you need to insert a background in the future, that's how you go about it. You just choose a picture like that, and then you just assign it there. Therefore, you can also like this one. This one is more attractive, but still our work is not so much vivid. But in case you want to insert a background, that's how you go about it. On the other hand, we can also do alignment. Alignment means just like in Microsoft Word. If you look at this one, this is right aligned, and I need it to be centered. So just go home, then go to the alignment tab here. I click on center. You see that one becomes center. So I need everything mine to be center. So I highlight, I click on center. That's what we call alignment. Therefore, it's just placing your text where it is supposed to be placed. Then when you want to adjust the row height, like this one, you can. This one I want it to be big. I can just see now there is height there, so I can increase the font size. I can do that with the purpose of increasing the font size of the title. So I have adjusted the row height. But for the column height, you just do this. You see, you just pull this one or double click that way. You see, this is now adjusting the column width. That is the manual way of doing it, and it is the safest way of doing that. For renaming the worksheet, now I want to name this one to Maji Matamu. You just double click, then type Maji Matamu. You see, that is now how to rename the worksheet. Therefore, basically, those are the stuff that you are supposed to really know. That in case you want to do something, you can do ABCD on that. So to undo, if your data goes lost, you just hit on undo or redo, depending on the circumstance. Then let's do a bit of formatting, whereby we shall assign this currency, these numbers to currency. So you can never achieve anything without highlighting in Excel and Microsoft Word, even in Publisher. So I highlight this, and remember, you don't highlight the alphanumerics or text. You just highlight the numbers. Then you go to home. Once you go home, go all the way to numbers here. Go to numbers where you will see general. Here you will see we have accounting here. Therefore, you need to come to this point and hit on this. You can double click this or opt to use here, click the dollar sign there. Then you just go to more accounting. It will launch a dialog box. So this dialog box will help you to choose the symbol. Like now, I want to choose Kenya shillings. Kenya shillings, therefore it's here, cash. Then it becomes now, this is how it will look, right? Then if you need more decimal places, less decimal places, then down here, just click on OK. There we are. You see, now I have been in a position to assign currency symbols to my work. In that, now I can see this is Kenya shillings here, assigned here. You can also assign dollar sign, like by going to this point here, and then you just click on English dollar. It will automatically put the dollar sign for you, like that. So that's how you set the currency for that case. Then you can also need to assign headers and footers. Just go to insert, just go all the way to headers and footers. Yeah. Therefore, Excel will allow you to type the header. The header here, this is Maji Matamu high school. Then you can go to footer here When you are still here, switch to footer. It takes you down to the footer. Just say this is my footer. That way. Then after doing that, you just need to click anywhere inside this. Anywhere inside this, and then that one is done. You just click. You see now I have the header and I have the footer somewhere. So when I go to print my work, I'm in a position to see my header and my footer. So basically, that's how you achieve that one in lesson 2. Later on, I will show you why this one was cut. It is because the page was too wide to accommodate this. Therefore, later on, at the end of the lesson, I will show you how to print. So I will take you through how to do that one. This is our lesson number 4. In our lesson number 4, we shall look at functions, basically calculations. This is where we shall look at functions and formulas. We shall look at sum, this is addition, product, multiplication, average or mean, finding the maximum figure, the minimum figure, the count of items, count if, this is counting if there is a condition, sum if, this is counting when there is a condition, date, and now. So let's see how this one works. Let's start with sum. Like for example, I need to get the total here. I need to get the total of fees paid here. So I can just type the total. If I need to get the total of staff typed here, I need to do the sum. So I can still assign the borders there by going to home or clicking this window. Then now I need to do the calculation. The first thing you should know is that in Microsoft Excel, a formula starts with an equal sign. So I just type equal sign, then type the word sum. Now once I type the word sum, I open the normal bracket, shift number 9. Then you click the first value you want included in the calculation. Then I put a full colon and then click the last value I need included. So this one is the last value. You see now Microsoft Excel has taken the range. Then you close the bracket and hit enter. You will get the answer. But there is something I need to explain to you, that if you want to do calculation like this, we have 6,500, you don't type it just like it has appeared here. You type the cell address. The cell address is read by reading the label of the column header and the value of the row. Like for example, this is E3. Look at this point. This point is called name box. It is E3. When I click that one is E4. Look at here, E4. When I click at this one, it is A3. So you read the column label and then the row. That is the cell address. Where is Don Gichai? It is in B4 and it is highlighted in orange. It is highlighted in orange, also indicated here. So you don't type whatever is in the cell, you type the cell address. And the cell address is gotten by reading the the column header first, then the row header. So when we go to this one, we also do the same. We want the sum. So we do the sum, open the bracket, click the first value, put full colon, click the last value, close the bracket, press enter. Very good. There you are. You get the sum. And if you want to see the formula, you click on it. This is the formula I have used. I have used sum equals to that one. So on the other hand, the next value is product. For example, now assume down here I have an item. I have an item. I have an item. Then I have quantity of the item, and then I want to see that is the price. We have the quantity, we have the price, and then I want to see the amount paid. So let me just use this one for demonstration. Therefore, just go up here and hit this one to put the border. So we have item X, item Y, item E, item Q. Then quantity, we have 4, we have 5, 6, we have 2. Then the price of this one is 40. This is 120. The price of this one is 85. This is 230. So I need to get the amount here. Remember, the amount will be 40 times 4. So you will put the formula equals product. I open the bracket just like we have done in the sum. Click the first value, put a full colon, click the last value included. So I need to multiply those two. Cross the bracket, press enter. You see now the answer is 160. Once you get 160, you don't calculate the rest. You just come to this corner, the right bottom corner. You click and press. The cursor turns into black. Then you pull down. It calculates the rest for you, and that is called autofill. So that's how you use the product. That is how you use the product function. Then on the other hand, I need to get the average here, the mean. So I can type, I need to get the average. So the average here, for this matter, let me just take this one away somewhere there. So I need also to put the borders here, hit on the border. Now I need to put the average here. You type equals average, then you open the bracket. I need the average of this first cell, put full colon, the last cell, cross the bracket, press enter. You see now this, if I click here, I see the formula I have used. Average of the first cell, full colon, the last cell. That's how it's done. You can also do this, pull this way. You can also, just like we have pulled down once you get the first answer, let me just undo. You can just go to the left, at the right bottom corner, hold and drag. It will calculate for you automatically the rest. So that's how you can do that. On the other hand, we can proceed and calculate the balance. What is the balance? The balance should be fees payable minus fees paid. Remember, a formula must start with an equal sign. So you put the equal sign, you click this minus this, press enter. So you get 49,000. Do the same, click 49,000, go to the right bottom corner, hold it down and pull. Now, there is something that has happened. We have gotten hash, hash, hash. But when you press the cursor there, you see the value. You should see the value of that. So this means you enlarge here. This means enlarge. You see now it has been gotten. So hash, hash means enlarge the column width. Then on the same note, I want to count how many students are here. How many students are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can just come here and type equals count, open the bracket, hit the first value, put full colon, the last value, then close the bracket and hit enter. Okay, I opt to calculate to have used numbers. So I have just mentioned that. Let's count here. This is equals count, open the bracket, at the first value, I put a full colon, then the last value. We are counting the admission numbers that way, then hit on enter. You see now you have 5 guys. But when I click on the 5, I will get the formula I have used here. So a formula is equals count the first value and the last value in the range. You can also have to check among these, excluding this. Let me put this one, in case you get this, just click here. It goes away, or just delete this. You're supposed to click here. So I want to highlight this one, then give them different color, like color red, so that we cannot include them in the maximum. So we want to see what is the maximum value, max, and then what is the minimum value of the fees paid here by the student. So you just come, a formula starts with an equal sign, type mean, open the bracket, click the first value, full colon, click the last value, then cross the bracket, hit enter. So you can see the maximum value here is this. But if we include up to this point, let me change the formula. We include up to the last one. So I remove that. I click up to this. You'll get to 80 as the answer. Close the bracket, you see. Now that is the minimum. I have typed wrongly. This, we need the maximum. The maximum. So the maximum will be 880. But the minimum equals to mean, open the bracket, click the first one, 4 colon up to here, then cross the bracket, press enter. You see that the minimum value is 56. And once you get the first answer, go to the right bottom corner and drag. It will give you the other answers. Do the same, go to the right bottom corner and drag. You see now, if you check here, the student with the minimum balance is 10,000, of which it is correct. But don't forget to put borders. Then just go to this point and put borders, you see? Then, that's how that one can be achieved. On the other hand, we have talked of a date. In case I want to produce the dates, here just type date. Sorry. We need to first of all have this one. We need to have then the month, then the day. Okay, let's have first of all have this example. I'll write it in a bigger cell. Let me first of all merge and center that one. Then I need to produce today's date and time. So I just come to this point and type now, then do that. You see now, I have just typed now, then first bracket and the last bracket. Then when you hit on enter, it will produce today's date and time. But sometimes you can change the format of dates and time, how they appear. That one can be done by going to this point here. You see you have wrong date. Like for example, I can choose this. I need this one, wrong date. You see now it goes Thursday, September 15, whatever. So just click on it. Just go to this point where your date, you choose the data types. And now I need short date. It will now turn into that one. Then on the other hand, we have sum if and we have sum if and count if. Okay, that is to count when there is a condition. For example, I want to count students from fees payable, fees paid by student from 2W. So just type equals to count if, open the bracket, the range is from here, put a full colon up to here, that is the range. Then it is 2W, comma, then the next range. The next range is from here up to there. That's where the other range is for sum if. So let's just correct that one and see. So this is what we shall have. We shall have this one. Okay, basically here, what I opt to have started with is sum if, not really count if. So I need to sum if, that is to add up if class is to W. So basically you take the range of where to W is. The to W is up to from there up to here. That is the range where I can get 2W. Then you put a comma, then the quotation marks, to 2W, quotation mark, comma, then the range. I need to get the fees. For example, I need the balance, the first value, full colon, the last value. Then you cross the bracket and hit enter. So basically, look at the formula. This is the formula. What the formula is doing, it is checking the range of C3 up to C7 for the value to W and takes its balance and then add them up. and where the balance is, it is found in F3 to F7. So what this function is doing, it will take the value of 49,500, then add it to 10,778. So you will get a value of 60,000. So this is the balance of students who come from 2W. That is sum if. But on the other hand, you can count how many students are from class 2W. So this one you can use count if. Count if, then the range is where? From here up to here. Then you put a comma. We want 2W to see 2W. Let's see where that one works. You see now it gives 2, but the formula is up here. Count if. The range, what are you counting? We are counting 2W. So this is a codation. We are giving Excel a codation whereby from a certain range search for 2W. So if we change this one to 2x, it should give us 1. If I change this one to 2x and then hit enter, you see the answer is 1, because it is counting given a codation. So on the other hand, we can also look at if function as we end this one. So make sure you rewind the video to see. Now we want a codation whereby if the fees balance of a student is greater than 45,000, and let's work with 47,000, that student is sent home. And if student's fees is slightly above 40,000, that student is retained. The above is retained in school. The others are asked to go for fees. So you can type a formula such as an equal sign. So if you click where you want point of reference. So if F3 is greater than, now let's say 48,000, comma, you put quotes. So this is retain in school. Retain in school. Then you cross the quotes. Remember the formula is also, you can also see whatever I'm writing here. Then comma. The next one is if. You cross the bracket, you open the bracket and type the same if F3. If F3 is greater than, that is, if it's greater than what? 40, let's say 45,000, call the parent. So call the parent, comma. The last option is not a must, you put if, but for this time round, for practice purposes, we can put it if F3 is now less than 44,999, comma. You can just say pay fees. That way, then you count the number of ifs. I have 3, so I cross with 3 ifs, 1, 2, 3. Then press enter. You see now when I press enter, I get the first value. Remember this one we agreed you can adjust. I get the first value, meets the criteria. It meets the criteria. So I just go to this point as I showed you, and then you drag downwards. You see now you will see different comments depending on the category in which the fees of the student, that is the fees balance of the student, is retained. So the remaining bit is for you to practice. Remember, practice, make perfect. Then the next thing we need to check is to go to the next lesson. The next lesson is data management. So in data management, we shall combine data management with the charts here. So we shall have that one. We can opt to start with any, but let me just do away with the charts. Then we can go to data management. So welcome to chapter 5 or lesson number 5. Let's see charts. We shall look at inserting charts, formatting charts. Also we shall see how to move chart from embedded chart to chart sheet. So basically we shall use the same data that I am using here. So we can just copy data. We shall copy this data, the student names. You hold Control key to choose non-adjacent cells. Then I also choose balance. Those are the two things I need. Then you hit on copy. You see these ones, and they are showing you that you have copied your data. Then you go to term 2 and then hit this paste. Then this hash means you increase the column width. So this is what we have, guys, that we have copied the student name and balance. We now want to populate a chart. So you highlight everything, then go to insert, then chart. We have charts. I need to have a column chart. So I choose column chart, of which it will be inserted here. So once I have this chart, you can see it has the balance and other stuff, names and wherever. So I need to move this chart from here to be in its own worksheet and with its own name. That one is called chart sheet. But at it stands, this is called an embedded chart. But I need it to be a whole screen chart on its own worksheet. So I click on it. Then up here, we have move chart. So I click on move chart. Now you can see it is object in, which is an embedded chart. But I want it to be a new sheet. So I click on new sheet and then give it the name I'll be told to give. For example, let's call it students performance. Students performance. Then I click on OK. There we are. See, the chart has been moved to its new sheet called student performance, and it is somehow bigger. The option I have used is just this option here, move chart. Then I chose a new sheet and then gave it the name. On the other hand, you may need to do a bit of grading, put grid lines or that. So we have format, we have layout. This is where you are supposed to go about it. If you need a key, we call it rigid. Like now, show rigid at the right or show rigid at bottom. You see now, this chart of mine will have the rigid. You can see it when we return it to the normal mode. Then we have the axis, this one, grid lines, and the others. You can just practice on this. For example, I need to have major grid lines here. Where are the grid lines? Grid lines. I needed to have the minor grid lines. You see now it becomes a graph after I insert the grid lines. And that's how it should be. So you can practice on how these ones, you see what they mean. You see now there are some labels. There is where you click and then something happens. All that is found in the layout tab. Therefore, that is how you deal with the charts. You can also make sure it has the axis. You see now the axis here has been added balance like that. The labels have been put. The grid lines have been put. So in short, charts are easy to make, just like we have gone about that one. You can also go back to design and change the chart type. For example, just come here and click the chart type. I want to change it to bar chart. So I just choose bar and then click on OK. You see now my chart has been turned from whichever was original to another one. You can also return this chart back to where it was by clicking on object in, then click on OK. You see now it has been returned back. But the best way is to click on it, then go to chart, then hit up here, give a name, and click on OK. This is how a chart should be left at that point. Then from there we can proceed to the next lesson. So our next lesson is data management. In data management, we shall look at sorting and filtering. We shall also look at subtotals, and lastly, we shall look at validation. So, what do we mean by sorting? Sorting is arranging data in ascending or descending order, whereas filtering is extracting data that meet a certain criteria. For instance, after going to this part here, we go back to this work of ours. Okay, good. There we are. Now, using this one, let me just remove this part. We delete. We don't need that one. Or we just cut and paste it somewhere different. Paste. It moves something. Cut moves everything from where it was originally was. Now, I want us to sort. Like for example, allow me to remove this part. This one, we can also cut it or clear the content. And then we also remove the borders by saying no border, no border. Now, put the border for the last one. Click there, say all borders. Now, I want us to I want us to sort our students according to ascending order. That is student's name. So I highlight the student names, don't highlight the heading, then go to data, then sort. From here, it will ask you sort by, I want to sort by student name, A to Z. If you don't put this one, it will bring column. So make sure you tick my data headers. Then I click on OK. You see now Abdi starts Agatha, Don, Janet, Joshua. That is what we call sorting. It is arranging data alphabetically. Then we go to the next one, filtering. I want to filter those students whose remarks is retained in school. How do I go about it? You highlight all of it, then you go to data, then you hit this funnel, filter. You'll notice there are some small filters that have been added. If I click, you can see they are not there. When I click on the filter, you can see there are some filters that are here. So I want to filter the remarks. So I go to this filter for remarks and click on it. Then deselect, select all, deselect, select all, and select retain in school. Then click on OK. There we are. It has only produced those values which are equivalent to retain in school. So in case I need two conditions, I can go back there. I need retain in school and call the parents. So you can see it has added that. To remove filters, just hit this funnel. Everything is gone. Then you are in a position to do that. Then, when you talk about subtotals are totals of various or individual entities. Like for instance, in our situation, we have students in the same class, 2C, 2W. So I want to see students who are in 2C, how did they perform in terms of balance, fees payment? Students in 2W or 2X, how did they do the same? So the first option is to highlight your work. Again, go to data. Remember our subtopic or lesson is data management. You go to data, then you go to where subtotals are. Here, hit subtotals. A dialog box will appear. This dialog box will appear. It's called the subtotal. So remove the tick there. Choose which is your parameter. Our parameter is fees balance. Then, which function shall we use? Always choose sum. Then, at each change in here, choose whatever you sort with. But for this case here, we are wrong. So we cancel this. We are supposed to sort this database according to class because we want to base our argument on classes. So we go back, sort. This time around we change. We are sorting according to class, then okay. See for yourself, classes with the same letter has been brought together. So we are very correct. And for that case now, we go to our subtotal here. Hit on subtotal. Then here, choose the parameter used to filter class, which is the function always sum, because we are subtotaling. Then here, balance. From there, just click on OK. See what will happen. What will happen, student at 2C have a total of 93. You see now it has 2C total, 93,850. 2W total this way. And 2X, since it is alone, it has its own total. Then you have the grad total, the total of totals. Therefore, this is very crucial. It is trying to show you how the classes have performed in terms of balance. You see the total has been placed just below the balance column. Then we have this small number 1, small number 2, small number 3 located here. These ones. So when you click small number 1, it hides the others and displays for you the grad total. When you press small number 2, it displays the subtotals and grad total. When you press number 3, everything is retained. Then somebody might ask you, how do we remove subtotals? You just go to subtotals. In the dialog box, there is remove all, and it is removed. So what is left is practice, practice, practice. Remember that one will make perfect. Lastly, on that subtopic or lesson, there is something called validation. Validation means you are restricting. For example, if I use sheet 4 this way, I want to restrict that here in these cells, this is cell A1 up to, let's say, these cells, that place, let me just color it. Home, I go to this field, I give it a color. I give it a color like that. Then I give it the border so that it can be vivid. Now, I want to restrict the green area, that somebody cannot enter a number less than 1,000 and greater than 10,000. So I want to restrict by highlighting. Then I go to data. Then I search validation, data validation. I click on data validation. This dialog box appears. So in this dialog box, there is settings. What do I want to set? I want to set a whole number. Between where? Between minimum 1,000 and maximum 10,000. 10,000. Then, in case somebody presses the cursor in the green area, what will be the welcome message? You click on input message. Title, welcome. Welcome very much. Then here, you can give more information that in this arena, we only accept numbers between 1,000 and 10,000, and 10,000 only. Else, you get error message. Good. Then error message, error alert. When you violate these criteria, what should be displayed? For example, here warning. Then title, check and retry. Only 1,000 to 10,000 is allowed. And put exclamation mark. Then let's see what happens. So you see, when you press the cursor here, there is no welcome message. But when you click here, it will tell you, welcome very much. In this arena, you only accept numbers between the wherever. So let's see. What will happen if I put 12? You see, I'll get an error message. Only 1,000 to 10,000 is allowed. Continue. Yes. So I have given it that way. So if you give 1,000, there is no quarrel. But when you give 11,000 or 10 that way, you get the message. So that is how validation is achieved. The validation is meant to restrict erroneous data from being entered in a worksheet. And therefore, whatever is left for you is to practice, and practice. So we proceed to our last part. Our last part will be page setup and printing. This is where I will show you how to set the print area, paper orientation, and printing. We start by setting paper orientation. Like for instance, this chart of ours here, it is in which part? Landscape. But probably we may need it to be in a portrait field. You see now, this is portrait. Portrait is different from landscape. So in case your chart was like this and you want it to be printed where you opt to have changed the paper size to landscape. Then also the size of the paper matters. In most cases we use A4. Therefore you click on A4. You see now A4 can accommodate more. And on the other hand, if you go to our data, here, you can set what to be printed. Like for example, I can just choose this way. Then I go to File. Then I go to Print. Then from here, up here, what are you printing? You see there is print active sheets, print entire workbook, print selection only. So I am supposed to choose print selection only. For that case, my computer will only print the selection. But if I choose entire workbook, it will actually print. You see down here we have 6. It will print 6 pages because I have assigned print the whole workbook. And my workbook here contains 6 worksheets. So you must be very careful when choosing what to print. On the other hand, you can choose print print active worksheet. Where the cursor is, that's what will be printed. So in nutshell, that is what you need to know in KCSE syllabus of 844. Excel is wide. I have not taken you through everything because not everything is required for you to pass the examination. But basically, the basics I have given you is in the syllabus, is all you need to know in Microsoft Excel. So remember to subscribe, remember to like my videos, and also share my videos with your friends. Thank you very much.